Welcome back to American Nostalgia Garage. A guy did go on ahead and pick up a can of this wipe-on clear coat from Vice Grip Garage. And it's good because you put it on with a loofah. So laziness is something we're real good at here at this garage. So we're gonna wipe this thing on and we're gonna see if this is really worth the money. You guys probably recognize this truck. We've done a whole bunch of work on it. It is finally time to maybe take a buck or two, put it back in the old pocket here. That way maybe we can spend it immediately on something else, because here at American Nostalgia Garage, money likes to burn holes in our pockets. So we gotta get this thing cleaned off, and then we're gonna apply this wipe-on clear coat. And then, you know, we'll do some like flashbackery of how we put this thing together. Every good car wash starts out with a leaf blower. All right, well, got my partner in crime here, as always. And after all, this truck is half his, so that means it's half his problem.
Does that mean the other stuff that I worked on I own half of? Because I'll take.
Not exactly. That's not in writing, so it's fine. We're safe. But anyway, you guys remember this project, and if you don't, go back, take a look at those videos, please. But you guys remember, we started off with this truck. We did a Will It Run video. It's got a small block Chevy, and I can already tell you what the problem is. The number 2 VIN code was built in Canada. That's the problem. And basically, what we ended up having to do on it was, you know, we tinkered around with the engine and stuff, but we ended up doing a quick, down and dirty tailgate carburetor rebuild. And I think I found the problem. The carburetor's not bolted in the right direction. It goes like that, guys. You guys are all doing it wrong. This is how it goes. All right, we got a carb rebuild kit for an Edelbrock / AFB. I assume that a lot of these are swappable parts because that's pretty much what this is. Anyway, they give you a lot of optional stuff, which I'm not going to use. Let's just get rid of some of this. Maybe we'll use that one. All right, that rebuild kit costs $59, so we're going to pick all of that up and try to put it in. We put some plugs, wires, and stuff. In the meantime, I think Ryan's going to change some plugs. Chances are those will snap off in the head, and I'll ruin this, so it'll never run again. After that, we had to determine which fuel tank we were pulling fuel from, because it has one on each side. We did end up finding out that it is the driver's side. All right, so we're gonna bottle feed this baby. And whenever you put your fuel in containers, guys, make sure it's approved and environmentally friendly. So I have a mustard container, so that's good. And then this is also approved. It is made by the Snapple Corporation. We're gonna catch the old fuel out of the sludge tank, which is underneath the car, which used to be a fuel tank, and we're gonna catch the old stuff in here. That way, at least we know what's in there. I don't know how full they are. I don't know how to switch to tanks. I don't know which tank it is. So, tell you what, it is really amazing how much stuff that you guys didn't get to see, unfortunately. Recently, we had to actually put a new distributor in this thing because the Hall effect switch inside the distributor, the pickup coil itself, failed. Yeah, who would have thought an HEI could fail? But they do, sometimes. After that, what we ended up doing was we needed an exhaust system now that we had an engine that ran. Oh, hey. I don't know if you saw the exhaust pipes, but the truck here is an... And if you remember from the first video, we rigged up the ugliest, worst sounding, well, I guess it didn't sound that bad, exhaust, and we had to redo that. So the second video that we put together on this thing was an exhaust video. I'm gonna take my Kenny G saxophone, I'm gonna put it in here so we can actually drive this thing without sounding like a jet plane. This is our current scenario. It's a flex pipe to a purple horny, and then just dumps right there, and the other side right there. We gotta send an exhaust through the back of this thing, make it sound like a real car. And in that video, we ended up building an exhaust from the cheapest exhaust setup builder kit we could get. Now we're gonna take all this cheap junk and throw it in there. Only China's best for our American car. And we got some knockoff Flowmaster exhaust mufflers. Also, this is not a joke. We have Jurassic Park mufflers. Got those shipped directly in from Universal Studios. And we just built an exhaust that comes straight out of the headers, goes through a muffler, and then makes the turn right before the rear wheels. Listen to that though. This is my absolute favorite tone. The dual chambered mufflers with the whole Delta Flow thing sounds awesome. Another behind the scenes thing that you guys didn't really get to see on this is this truck had no emergency brake cables or actuation or anything. And we had to mess with the emergency brake cables. That was a pain in the butt, but it works now. We were missing the spreader bar out of the rear brakes, so we couldn't actually activate the parking brake without that, even with brand new cables and everything. It quickly became apparent that we were picking up somebody else's prior project. Look at how nice and clean this side looks after just a sponge. Yes, it's wet, but this is the look we're going for when we're done anyway, so hopefully that's what we get. Right here is another section that you guys didn't get to see. This whole portion here was punched in when we got the truck from somebody backing up into a gas pump or something. And I ended up slicing it out and putting in a patch. And it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I gotta be honest, I do wish that I could film absolutely everything that we do on the channel, but there is just too much. I've done videos like behind the scenes type videos just to go over some stuff that, you know, I'm doing that isn't really our normal content, but something maybe you guys would want to watch. And there's even stuff that there's behind the scenes to behind the scenes, and stuff that just doesn't go up on the channel just because it just needs to get done. I wish I could go ahead and show you guys everything, but there's just stuff that sometimes you just got to put your nose to the grindstone and get it done. After we had an exhaust system and everything else was functioning the way it should, we moved on to the interior. Carburetor's on the seat, that's good. It's got keys. Dash is absolutely mint. And the seat is mint. I don't think anybody even ever sat there.
No, it's got to be a low mileage truck.
Yeah. And from there, we did new door panels. Next thing that's up is these door panels. Start with a handle, I mean, that's what I said, if you were listening. Then get the top pushed on. This little bezel on. And basically, Bob's your uncle. We did new carpet. All right, so what's next? Actually, I wish it was lunch, because about up to here with this car. But it can't be lunch because it's like 4 in the afternoon. I'm about to lose the sun any minute now. And I gotta wrestle this thing in. We did a new dash pad. All right, we've got this contraption that looks like something out of Hellraiser 2. And basically what it is a bunch of clamps that are just going to hold the dash cover onto the actual dash structure. We did a new seat cover and seat foam to go with it underneath. This is all got to go. So we're going to get this thing off, new foam, and get it recovered. Somebody shoved a piece of Pig Mac behind the springs to fluff the seat up, which turned into a nest, and we're missing some of the springs that go underneath. All right, we gotta cover this spot here where the foam is kind of getting damaged and missing. We got this old piece of foam that my dog sat on for a long period of time. We're gonna try to get this section that has the biohazard, you know, not in the mix here. I'm sitting in it. It feels good. It looks good. It's actually comfortable. The foam actually worked out perfect. Honestly, I'm thinking of just keeping it like this right here. New addition to the shop. And to top off the cherry on top was a Bluetooth stereo. So whoever buys this truck basically has a modern stereo and an old square body. All right, so we quickly read the instructions, and by that I mean I can't read, I have no idea what it says. All right, but seriously, they said to let it completely dry. As you can see, it's still dripping over here, and we gave it 10 whole minutes. We are not the most patient people here, but the parts we want to put it on right now are dry, so we're going to do it. The instructions read that this is 8-to-1, 8-to-1 mix, meaning 8 units of this to 1 unit of this. Whatever unit means to you, whether it means an ounce or a gallon, that's the way it works. So if you need a whole lot of it, you're going to mix whatever. Say 8 ounces of this to 1 ounce of this. So here I have a paint mixing cup with a liner, which is from my paint gun inside. And I think we'll probably, 8-to-1 is where we need to be. That's right here. See, it says 8-to-1. So what we'll do is maybe we'll start out with half a cup. So we'll do like whatever this is, 4 ounces. So we're gonna fill it to our first line here with the larger container. And then we're gonna fill it to this second line with the smaller container. And then this will be 8 parts to 1 part. I know it says 4, but you get what I'm saying. I want to test this stuff to see if it works. Using a nice level surface here. That's to our first number 4. Right there. Now we're going to fill to that second 4. There it is. Now we're going to give it the old whiskey stir. All right, now we got to make sure it's really stirred. So, okay, we're ready to go. Ryan has the applicator in his hand, which means he's motivated and wants to be the first one to try this, and I'm okay with that. So we put our best man in charge of an important job. You know, so he's got the can of ginger ale there. He's going to throw it on our truck.
The best man or whoever was standing closest.
In which case, you're both of those things. Yep. All right, so they say to start in an inconspicuous area, which means we start directly on the ridge of the hood. Also, you may think, why is he doing that and getting it drips all over the place? Well, actually, if you watch Derek's channel, when he puts some of this stuff on the trucks that he's done, he basically says that the runoff doesn't matter. Unless I understand incorrectly, which is entirely possible. I did happen to catch something, I don't know what it was in the paint here, and kind of smear it. I think it since went away, but I do have a little section right there where there's like some terry cloth stuck in it. I don't know exactly how I'm going to get that out, but we'll figure it out. Then there's some little bubbles here. I laid it on pretty thick in some of the spots that really need it, and we also have quite a bit of that cup left, so trying to make sure we use it so we don't waste it. But so far, it looks pretty good. Well, we did it, and it is shining like a crystal skull somewhere in an Egyptian pyramid. Actually, I think that episode of Indiana Jones was in Peru or something. I'm not sure. But look at how shiny this thing is. It looks great. I'm really excited about it, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. So, Derek, you're not the simple man that you say you are. You're some sort of chemistry wizard or something. This looks fantastic. We're really happy with it. Me and Ryan are both pretty excited to get this thing the heck out of here. Maybe get some money back, so we can waste it on another project, which you'll see here on the channel. So the bottom line is, I will say, I think that this stuff is definitely worth the money. I am really happy with the results, honestly. It looks great. This truck needed clear coat. It's actually the perfect candidate for this kind of product. It fits into my laziness. Me and Ryan together were super tickled to just be able to just go. That's where we're going to clip this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. Drop a like below, really helps me out. And as always, thank you guys for watching American Nostalgia Garage.